So a website has a mistake in pricing. If you purchase it, does that make you a thief or just a savvy shopper?
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41, Bob Barker's favorite spot on the internet. So, what do you
I
think,
would
man?
love to spin that fucking wheel.
Would it be fun just once? You always think you could spin it better than any other person you've seen spin it, but...
And I mean, just close your eyes, Bob, or whoever the fuck is hosting the show.
Drew Carey.
Don't get me.
Like, I love when people get a big spin on it.
Josh has quite a man crush on Drew Carey.
Drew Carey is the man.
Thank you.
Did you ever watch his stand-up before he had a show?
Yes.
Brilliant.
He had a show before
The Drew Carey show?
before the Drew Carey show. He was actually in a show where it was him and two or three other guys that were in an office. It was an actual sitcom on TV that didn't go beyond 1 year.
Really?
But yeah, he was in an actual sitcom. Yeah.
I demand to know the name of this television show, but we don't need to do that now. We shall find it after. Oh, it's the tablet. I figured he was going to reach for the tablet. He couldn't resist.
No. I just wanted to finish my keto coffee.
So, speaking of Bob Barker and Drew Carey and Price is Right, we're talking about
The price being wrong.
price being wrong.
Yeah.
So, catch us up to what your thought is here.
So Amazon Prime Day was, well, I don't know how long ago now, but it was a while back, a couple weeks.
14th, 15th or something like that?
During their Amazon Prime Day, they had a mistake on some camera equipment that was 99% off.
Ooh.
It was a mistake. They didn't
It
intend
was a
to.
mistake.
And you had to be a Prime member to get in on
Right.
that, right? Okay.
So, obviously, people looking for that type of equipment would have noticed the deal and purchased it.
First question. You and I have been shopping camera shit. Why don't we have this 99% off camera
Because I
equipment?
didn't hear about it till the day after. I am not a Prime member at the moment.
Day late and $1 short.
My membership expired 2 days before Prime Day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I am a Prime
Damn,
member,
son.
but I'm a Prime member for the music and
But it still counts.
That's kind of like, I got shot 2 days before retirement.
That's right. I'm getting too old for this shit.
I picked a poor day to quit caffeine. And then by the end of the movies, I picked a poor day
Instead
to
of
quit
a gold watch,
cocaine.
you get an American flag.
So the camera equipment was 99%.
People obviously tried to purchase it.
Absolutely, and I'm sure many people have.
Yeah.
The question came up after the fact when I was watching another online show that stipulated by knowing that that price was a mistake and you purchasing it, you are taking advantage of a system and therefore it is considered theft. And I didn't know how I agreed with it until he says, especially if you purchased more than one, knowing that you didn't need more than one, you were doing it because of the price.
Where did you see this? Just on some ombudsman website or?
Another YouTube channel.
It's called The WAN Show with Linus Tech Tips.
They're a much bigger YouTube channel than we are.
Right.
But we're going
For
to
now.
piggyback off them if we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they now just made it to our tag list.
Legit.
So
Toads.
it doesn't matter if it's online. So let's go that first route.
It's a lot harder if it's not online because you're going to deal with a rep who's going to see the price, right, at checkout. Sure, they may honor it for the one that you're buying, but they're probably going to run to the shelf and fix it. Whereas online, hundreds of orders could go through.
Right.
Or even an order with hundreds of products in it if they didn't have a limit per customer.
So I'll put a contextual story around this and see if you think it's the same thing, but I would argue that this probably lends credence to, yes, it's theft. I'll preface that.
Okay.
A friend of mine, a musician from Fredericton, recently had a guy call him and say, you've got a Telecaster that you don't use that I like. Telecaster's a type of guitar. He goes, yep. He said, bring it over. I want to look at it. And if you want to sell it, whatever, we'll work a deal. So my friend takes his guitar to this guy's house, hands it to him. He digs it up. Oh, I love this thing. It's great. What'd you pay for it? Where'd you get it? How old is it? What year is it? They do the whole talk about it. And the Telecaster, I mean, it's not a cheap instrument, but it wasn't like a boutique high-end whatever. I mean, it's a $1,400-$1,500 guitar when it was new. It's probably worth about $1,000 in the hard shell case, give or take, whatever. Meanwhile, my friend sitting in this guy's house who collects instruments, acquires them, plays them, whatever, sees a Gibson case. He says, "What's the Gibson case?" He goes, "Oh, that was the worst purchase I ever made." He says, "It's an E335. So it's a hollow body. Think BB King.
Okay.
This is a cherry red burgundy color, but it's that guitar.
Pretty guitar.
Very pretty. Guy hated it. Don't know why, whatever. So Johnny goes over and cracks the case and pulls this E335 out and he's like, "Oh my God, this thing's gorgeous. It needs some work. You know, frets need cleaned up, action needs adjusted, whatever. Needs to do some work to the guitar." Buddy goes, "I'll tell you what, let's trade. You just take that home and I'll keep the telly and whatever." And Johnny's like, "Well, we can trade temporarily and think about it. And if you have cold feet tomorrow, we'll trade back. That way we're not locked into anything permanent." But he's like, "Well, I won't be changing my mind about getting the telly. You might change your mind when you get that home and realize how terrible it is." So Johnny takes the guitar home and he's looking at it all over, trying to find why it's terrible. Is the neck joint broken? Is there something physically wrong with it? Whatever. So he cleans it, new strings, sets the action, does all the work to the guitar, trims it right up. It's a beautiful instrument. Still is. Gorgeous. And he's like, "Well, I should figure out what this thing is, exactly." So he looks inside the sound hole, pulls off the serial number, keys it in on Google. It's a 1968 authentic, not a reissue, nothing. It is a 68 authentic, worth about $15,000.
Holy shit.
He said it was about 11:30 at night. He said, "I picked up the phone and I called Buddy back and said, 'Hey man, like this isn't right. We got to talk about this.'" He goes, "What?" He goes, "You got that guitar and you want to send it back. It's garbage, right?" He's like, No. This thing is like authentically 68 and it's worth some serious cash. It's mint condition. There's not original case, original knobs, nothing on it has been changed." He's like, "You haven't altered this? It has never been altered. Like, it's worth a lot of money." But he's like, "Yeah, it's not to me. I don't care." But by Johnny saying, "Hey, dude, I got this and I checked out what I got," lends credence to the statement that if you buy something for a much lower price or acquire it for less than what its actual value is, there's a moment most people will have where they either acknowledge and ignore or acknowledge and profess that they got a way better deal than they should have.
Yeah.
Which means that it lends itself into a dishonest situation. A lot of people don't like being dishonest, so I think that people try to acknowledge it so that they don't get the guilt.
I think calling it theft is a bit step too far.
A little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you went to Ken's store to buy something and you knew it was like heavily discounted, they forgot to put a zero on the end of the price, and no one noticed and you carried it out of the store, are you going to feel guilt over that?
I don't know. That's why I brought the topic up.
Well, okay, if you go to the superstore and you take an item that's priced incorrectly, at one time
It's free.
it was free. Is that still?
If you get something wrong, so how it works, if you go through the checkout and the price listed on the item is $4.99,
Yeah.
and they charge you $5.99 or $3.99, and you take that to the customer service counter, they refund your money and you keep the item for free. That's
Okay.
still the policy.
But you have to go through that little kind of
Right.
okay.
Right. So if I run up to you while you're buying groceries and go, "Dude, this thing's priced wrong. You should go get one or two of them." Have we crossed the line at that point?
Probably.
Is it easier to do it because they're a giant corporation?
That is exactly where I was going with
That
this.
was my first mental thought.
That's exactly.
Don't hurt the little guy.
I do have mental thoughts.
To hell with the big guy, right?
Most are
All of your
not fit.
thoughts are mental.
Most of them are not fit.
From
So I'll
my
put it to you
mind
this
to your
way.
fucking lips.
I'll put it to you this way. I can guarantee you if Amazon, big retailer XYZ, doesn't matter, put a camera equipment up and accidentally priced it instead of $1,900, made it $2,000, even though the MSRP was $19, and you bought it for the $2,000 and complained to them that they were over MSRP by $100, I bet you wouldn't get your money back.
Well, because then it'll be whatever the market will bear.
It's buyer beware at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So is there such thing as seller beware as well?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to be brought to trial over purchasing this item.
Right.
Yeah, you haven't really broken any laws.
Right.
No, they offered it for this price, you purchased
but
it.
there is a moral line of taking advantage of it.
There is, but that's personal.
Right.
If you look at it and go, oh yeah, I'm going to get one for myself because I deserve a break. But then somebody else buys 5 of them and sells the other 4 and comes ahead, and you're thinking, I wouldn't go that far. So it's what line are you willing to cross, you willing to cross, and still sleep at night going, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This probably says a lot about me. Online, I would buy one and be okay with it. I wouldn't buy more than one. I don't think I could do it in a store.
That's my line.
Yeah.
In a store,
Could you take the online price, go to a store and say price match it?
I couldn't. I could barely talk to people.
I would expect, because I deal with the whole price match question, I would expect there to be rules to it, because there are at the store I work at. Do you price match? Do they have it in stock? Well,
Or is it
no.
only available online?
They're not going to have any for a month. Well, when we don't have them, they're free. That's my line. And then it gets a laugh out of people like, oh, I suppose. Well, we have them in stock, 5 of them. This is the price, and this is what delivery is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
all
Well, in this instance, they would have had them in stock.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they have free delivery, 2-day shipping if you're a Prime member that day. So
Yeah.
that would have fallen into the rule. So would you have another?
Would I take that to a store and say, do you price match?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
As the store owner, would you price match against something that's obviously flawed?
No.
99% off?
No.
What would you give them for a reason? I can't price match that because.
I would say that's obviously a mistake, and I'm not in business to give things away. I appreciate you asking, but no, I'm sorry, I can't match that deal.
And what happens when they say, well, no, it isn't obvious because this is what the price says, and I don't see anywhere that says it's a mistake.
Or your advertising says you price match, now your false advertising. What are they?
I look at you and say, this is a different circumstance than what we're talking about, thank you, and I turn around and walk away. If I'm the business owner, that's what I
If it's in a flyer, every flyer since the dawn of time, it has a disclaimer on the last page right at the end that said,
Yeah, and letters about that big.
do not count in your favor.
Okay, but this isn't a flyer.
Well,
This is just a posted price.
But
Yeah,
but
this
that
is
would,
I can buy it now for this price, and you said you price match. So why aren't you price matching it?
because
it's
it's
my
not
discretion.
it's not a normal circumstance. If it's $4.99 at my store and it's $4.49 at the other store, that's a $50 difference. Okay. Is it the same model number? Yes, it is. They have it in stock. Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, we'll price match. If you come in and go,
It's $4.99.
it's $4, are you matching it? No, give your head a shake.
Do you guys ever deal with MAP? Maximum advertised price or minimum advertised price?
Every single day of life.
You do. Do you guys have to abide by MAP rules to keep your distributorship?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they do. We're part of a buyer's group, but we're an independent store, so I
Right.
don't know.
I'll help with context, Rand. So with MAP, my experience is mostly in the music industry. They switched it a few years ago. It used to be you could advertise whatever you wanted for whatever you wanted. So if you bought a truckload of amps and you just wanted to sell them for a loss, you could literally advertise against a competitor and say,
And lose
$1
money
an
just,
you can buy this for $55 when it's $155 everywhere
just to
else.
hurt the other guy.
Just to hurt the other guy.
Okay, so with some companies, yes.
So then what they did was they changed the industry. The industry changed because it was starting to get obvious that certain people were getting price breaks that other companies weren't, because there's different
Yeah.
discounts based on volume purchasing, blah, 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 blah.
The race
They ended
to
up,
zero.
right. So they ended up making it that there was minimum advertised price. So basically the minimum advertised price of this product is that if you advertise it for less in any publication, website, or anything else,
Yeah.
then you lose your right to sell our product.
Traeger grills.
Yeah, either that or you get, like no STAs for there's ways to,
Yeah.
but
Punish
it's
you.
still advertising. It's not to say that when they walk into your store,
Exactly.
you can't sell it for $200 less and have a sign on the thing that says
But-
No,
it's
with Traeger
$200
grills,
less.
you can't even do that. If
Oh,
that's
see.
a $799 grill, that's what they buy for.
They don't
We
want the
have
product
more
to buy.
leeway.
We have other ways to say, we'll compensate you for buying that by throwing in a free
But
cover.
therein lies the rub. If someone went into you and bargained you down on a TV below MAP, they can't take that below MAP price to Ryan's store and say, hey,
Right.
I got this price on this TV, can you price match? because technically that's advertising if you have that price out of the store.
If it's on the receipt.
If it's a handwritten note, because he hasn't bought the TV yet, obviously he's not going to go to someone else to price match it, right?
Or if I wanted to buy 2 and then I had one in stock,
Well,
the receipt
then-
might be.
Yeah, but I would not do that.
Right. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice bunch of lady boys. Nice bunch of lady boys. Huh?
Yeah, really.
Monty Python. No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Do women have Adam's apples?
So yeah, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna say it. If it's a big corporation, don't care. I'll take advantage of it. I'm nasty and evil.
Multiple purchases?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't care. Just the heck with them, because I know most of those big corporations are pretty careless about their employees as well. They're not looking out for my best interest. I can tell you that.
You know what I love?
If they were, they wouldn't be offshoring their money to God knows where and pulling the Dutch-Irish tax trick and
So
basically taking money out of our economy and putting it in their pockets.
you're okay screwing the big guy, but not the little guy.
Right.
Okay.
That's where I sit on it.
Not that I disagree with that. I probably would take the same exact attitude in that situation, but I don't know if that makes us any more moral than anybody else.
Right. No.
Bears, not Twinks.
Okay.
See if Brent has run into this, because Brent and I are in retail, but you'll be there and then, what in the hell are they doing? And you'll see them walk over and grab a price off of one product and walk over and put it in front of another one and switch it. And have you ever caught somebody doing that before?
No, and I'll tell you why. Our tags all have
Yes.
what it is,
Yeah.
the model
number,
the color, the
Yeah.
size, like everything's on there. If you try that, it ain't gonna work.
I once had a lady look at me and said, "That's a pretty good deal on that 50-inch television." "Oh yeah, I know, $7.99. That's when like 4K first came out or whatever. And she goes, no. That TV's $2.99. And I said, "It is. How do you figure that?" "It's right there on the price tag." I said, "The $2.99's for the sound bar." "Well, that's false advertising." And I didn't bite my tongue and said, "Not if you can fucking read."
Holy crap!
Customer service at its finest,
Wait.
ladies and gentlemen.
Did you know her?
Nope.
Oh shit, that's badass.
They can't all be fucking gems.
We'll look after you when you get let go. So, would you take advantage?
Yeah, I probably would.
Big guy, little guy, doesn't matter.
I don't know how to determine who's big and who's little. But yes, there would be a point. There would be a point. I could not do it in a personal sense. If you're doing it in a personal sense, then you know that the price is right because you're checking with a person.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas a
Good
small
callback.
website, I don't know.
Would you take advantage?
Like I said, I mean, a big company online, I would, but I wouldn't do it in a store, and I wouldn't do it on like a privately owned, website.
Now, how about you, Kendall?
Didn't he?
I'm just hoping that he doesn't realize any answers differently. The second time.
What's that?
What did you?
Would I take advantage?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'll relate a story.
Oh, here we go. Settle in, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you got your crumpets and tea ready.
A buddy of mine.
Cut the video. Part 2 coming soon.
No. A buddy of mine. We're walking.
No interruptions.
A buddy of mine. We're walking down Hollis Street in Halifax, which is, for those of you who don't know, is nicknamed Hooker Haven.
Okay.
And we were on our way to Brandy Alexander's one night, and a hooker walked up to us and said, "You looking for some company this evening?" And my buddy looked down and said, "Yes. What time do you get off work?"
Nice.
Didn't want to pay.
Did not want to pay.
Yeah. Neither did I.